Kobe Bryant is one of the greatest basketball players of all time. We all know the legend, but legends aren't born, they're built. While there will never be another Kobe who might not have dreams of playing in the NBA, you can learn from how he approached his craft and apply that same level of greatness to whatever your passion happens to be. Because here's the part people forget. He wasn't born with accolades, he wasn't born with success, wasn't born great. His greatness was built through endless hours in the gym, studying film, mastering his craft, and having the willingness to build himself into one of the greatest players of all time. That's why the accolades are meaningful. 18-time All-Star, 11-time first-team All-NBA, 5-time NBA champion, 2 times Finals MVP, League MVP, and 2-time Olympic gold medalist. Here's what I've learned from Kobe Bryant. Before we go any further, though, I want to be clear about something. I've never met Kobe, and as much as it honestly pains me that I can't put him on the Mount Rushmore of people I would love to interview someday, I can't. But what I can do is learn from the way he lived, the way he worked, and the way he approached mastery. And I'll do my best to share what we can still learn from him, even from a distance. So when we talk about what Kobe taught us, it doesn't start with championships or MVPs or all-star selections. It starts way before that, when he was just a kid, really a kid who wasn't very good yet. And we tend to look at somebody like Kobe and assume he was always different, always special, always great. But he wasn't.
You know, I had a summer where I played basketball when I was like 10 or 11 years old, and I scored not a free throw, nothing, not a lucky shot, not a breakaway layup, 0 points. And I remember crying about it and being upset about it.
Think about that for a second. Kobe Bryant, an entire summer, not a single point. Nothing. That's not a legend at that point. That's just a normal kid. Kobe talks about how he was close to quitting basketball and focusing on soccer, but instead, he made a decision, and this decision had such an impact on his life.
I wanted to be one of the best basketball players to ever play, and anything else that was outside of that lane, I didn't have time for. I made that deal with myself at 13 years old.
At 13 years old?
13 years old. That's the deal I made.
You were crystal clear about it.
Crystal clear.
That right there was the deal he made with himself. So he started working.
From there, I just went to work. I stayed with it. I kept practicing. I think that's when the idea of understanding a long-term view became important, because I wasn't going to catch these kids in a week. I wasn't going to catch them in a year, right? So that's when I sat down and said, okay, this is going to take some thought, all right? What do I want to work on first? All right, shooting. All right, let's knock this out. Let's focus on this half a year, 6 months, do nothing but shoot. Right after that, all right, creating your own shot. And you focus. So I started creating a menu of things. When I came back the next summer, I was a little bit better. I scored. Yeah, it wasn't much, right, but I scored. You know?
And eventually, as we all know, he made it to the NBA. But even then, even when he made it there, he still wasn't the Kobe Bryant we know today.
Okay, I shot 5 air balls on national TV in front of millions of people that cost us the series, and I'm 18. I'm fine, dude. Yeah.
How did you get mentally and emotionally so strong where it doesn't bother you?
Well, you know, you got to look at the reality of the situation. You know, like for me, it's not, you know, you kind of got to get over yourself. Like, it's not about you, man. Like, oh, okay, you feel embarrassed. You're not that important. Like, get over yourself.
Failures didn't disappear. They never disappear. His story just didn't end with those failures. And there was no breakthrough moment. There was no Hollywood revelation. There was just work.
I want more. I want more. I want to learn more. Where can I learn more? Where can I look? Curiosity. I think curiosity is the most important thing. Every kid, every person has the ability to put one foot in front of the other, right? So like if you're saying, okay, I'm going to climb Mount Everest, and you're at the bottom of the mountain and you look up and you're going, I'm not going to climb Mount Everest, right? But if you break it down into sections, you're just one foot in front of the other, one step at a time, next thing you know, you're at the top of the mountain.
This is where most people hesitate, because it's slow, it's uncomfortable, it's boring, and it doesn't look like greatness. If this part feels unexciting, that's because none of it is. It's not exciting.
Was work on the basics and the fundamentals. Well, they relied on their athleticism and their natural ability. And because I stick to the fundamentals, it just caught up to them. And then my body, my knees stopped hurting. I grew into my frame, and then it was game over.
Wow.
But it's work, and it's what's necessary.
At the end of every day, you look yourself in the mirror and you ask yourself, did I get better today? If the answer is yes, and you do that for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, how much better are you gonna be? Are you getting better every single day? That's the question. And it's just taking small steps. You don't try to get it all done in one day, in 1 week, in 1 year. It's the process of getting better every day and doing that for a period of years that then create the masterpiece.
This approach changes the entire game because when improvement becomes the goal, there's no finish line. There's only progress. This is where the separation started, not because he was fearless, but because he kept honoring the deal he made with himself when he was 13.
If you get up at 10 in the morning, train at 11, 12, say 12, train at 12, train for 2 hours, 12 to 2. You have to let your body recover. So you eat, recover, whatever. You get back out, you train, start training again at 6. Train from 6 to 8, right? And now you go home, you shower, you eat dinner, you go to bed, you wake up, you do it again, right? Those are 2 sessions. Right now, imagine you wake up at 3, you train at 4, you go 4 to 6, come home, breakfast, relax, blah, blah, blah. Now you're back at it again, 9 to 11, right? You relax, and now all of a sudden you're back at it again, 2 to 4, and now you're back at it again, 7 to 9. Look how much more training I have done by simply starting at 4, right? And so now you do that, and as the years go on, the separation that you have with your competitors and your peers just grows larger and larger and larger and larger and larger. And by year 5 or 6, doesn't matter what kind of work they do in the summer, they're never going to catch up.
At some point, that way of working became known as the Mamba mentality. It stopped being something he did and became the expectation. Not motivation, not emotion. It was the standard. Mamba mentality gets thrown around a lot. People turn it into hype, intensity, trash talk. Wasn't it?
What is Mamba mentality? It's a lot of things, but I think most importantly, it starts from emotion. Mamba mentality is first being self-aware of things that happen within your life that you can then use as fuel to propel you forward. And it starts from that foundation. And then from that foundation, it's this constant search for answers and this constant search to try to get better because it's a way of life. Have that mentality, then you'll continually chase greatness. And in that process of understanding that you'll never truly achieve it, but you'll keep getting better every single day and you'll continually strive to reach your fullest potential. And I think that process and that journey is what greatness is. If you're always practicing, always working, you can't help but be better than everybody else. That's what Mamba mentality is. So best of luck to you on your journey.
We're watching the start of the game to
gosh.
the end of the game, and not like the TV feed. We're watching the in-arena feed, the layup line, the timeouts.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, rewinding, stopping, fast forward, rewinding, slow motion, every little thing, every game of that season with the 82-year-old Yoda.
Oh my gosh.
Who is as brutally honest as you can get.
That kind of honesty, it's uncomfortable. People don't like it because it's hard to be honest with yourself with your limitations. But once you see that truth, you can't negotiate with it.
That sounds like excuses to me. I mean, you got to figure it out, right? If you really have an obsession to figure it out, you will figure it out, right? And every puzzle is constructed differently. Right? AI's situation when he came into the league was different than mine. Mike's situation in Chicago was different than mine. Right? Everybody has a different puzzle, man. You just got to figure out your own puzzle.
That right there is the Mamba mentality. Not confidence, standards. Because once the standard is set, you don't negotiate with it. You can't. You don't wait to feel ready. You just show up every day and you do the work. Once the standard is set, right here is what it turns into.
The first time I met Kobe Bryant, he said something to me that changed my life forever. See, back in 2007, Nike flew me out to Los Angeles to work the first ever Kobe Bryant Skills Academy. Nike brought in the top high school and college players from around the country for an intense 3-day mini camp with the best player in the world. And for any of you that don't follow basketball as closely as I do, just know that in 2007, Kobe was the best player in the game. Well, when I found myself on his camp staff, I figured this is my chance. This is my shot. So at my earliest opportunity, I walked up to Kobe and asked if I could watch one of his private workouts. He was incredibly gracious and smiled and said, "Sure, man, no problem. I'm going tomorrow at 4. Yeah, that's 4 a.m. Well, I couldn't think of a legitimate reason of why I couldn't be somewhere at 4 in the morning, so I'd committed myself to being there, and I figured if I'm gonna be there anyway, I may as well try and impress Kobe. I may as well leave my mark and show him how serious of a trainer I was. So I came up with the plan to beat him to the gym. So I set my alarm for 3 a.m. The next morning, the alarm goes off, I jump up, I quickly get myself dressed, I hop in a cab, and I head to the gym. Now, when I arrive, it's 3:30 in the morning, so it's pitch black outside. But the moment I step out of the cab, I could see the gym light was already on. From the parking lot, I could faintly hear a ball bouncing and sneakers squeaking. I walk in the side door of the gym, Kobe's already in a full sweat. See, he was going through an intense warm-up before his formal workout with his trainer started at 4. Well, out of professional courtesy, I didn't say anything to Kobe, I didn't say anything to his trainer, I just sat down to watch. And for the first 45 minutes, I was shocked. For the first 45 minutes, I watched the best player on the planet do the most basic footwork and offensive moves. Kobe was doing stuff that I had routinely taught to middle school age players. Now don't get it twisted, this was Kobe Bryant. So he was doing everything with an unparalleled level of intensity and everything with surgical precision. But the stuff he was doing was incredibly basic. Well, his workout went on for a couple more hours, and when it was over, once again, I didn't say anything to him, I didn't say anything to his trainer, I just left. But my curiosity kept nipping away, and it eventually overwhelmed me to the point that I had to know. So later that day at camp, I went up to him again and said, "Kobe, I don't understand. You're the best player in the world. Why were you doing such basic drills?" And he flashed that $1 million smile. He gave me a friendly wink, but he said something that changed my life forever. He said, "Why do you think I'm the best player in the world?" Because I never get bored with the basics.
Greatness doesn't look exciting while it's being built. It's boring. It looks boring. And that's why most people don't stick around long enough to become great. And all this work, all this effort, meeting these standards every day, it doesn't protect you from the pain. It doesn't prevent setbacks. It doesn't guarantee outcomes. None of it does. But what it does do is remove excuses. Most of us aren't chasing championships. We're not playing in packed arenas, and we're not measured by box scores. But the principles don't disappear just because the context changes. Studying Kobe changed how I look at things, how I train, how I prepare, how I teach, and how I show up when no one's watching. Not because I want to be intense, but because I want to be consistent. Most people are waiting to feel ready, waiting for motivation, waiting for the right time. Kobe didn't wait. He set the standard and showed up to it, whether he felt like it or not. That applies to your health, your career, your relationships, your mindset. And if you're not willing to live that way, that's okay. But be honest about it, because hoping motivation will do the job that discipline should, it's how standards quietly disappear. Kobe Bryant wasn't born Kobe Bryant. He built him. And that's the part that matters most. Not the trophies, not the highlights, not the myth. The process, the standards, the decision to keep showing up every day when it was boring and uncomfortable and uncertain. That's what Kobe taught me. Not how to be intense, but how to be consistent. Not to chase outcomes, but respect the work that creates them. This series isn't about idols. It's about how ordinary people become extraordinary, quietly, deliberately, and without excuses, without shortcuts. Greatness isn't about talent. It's about the standard you're willing to live by. Kobe made a deal with himself and spent his life honoring it. The only question is whether you're willing to do the same.